What's up, y'all, man? It's your boy Lil Young B, man. Happy Oscars and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I got a quote today, man, that is from some movie star people and shit. Michael Caine, who's an actor, said this shit to Hugh Jackman, who is also an actor. All right, my bad. 1 in 10 things you do will be a success, while everything else is a failure. So say yes to everything. And make sure you got 10 things. I'm the Young Big. What's good with you? What's up, y'all, man? We here, man. This the final episode we doing in Los Angeles for now. I'm going to be back. You know what I'm saying? Don't be all sad and shit. I'm coming back for y'all, man. So today we got on the show, man, RJ, a.k.a. Russell Greenblatt, who's a writer in Hollywood. What's up?
What's good?
How you doing, man?
Smooth.
You doing smooth today? That's what you got?
I don't think I can keep that up.
All right, yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, you already know, man. So, you know, man, we out here in Hollywood, and a lot of the listeners was wondering about the life of a writer, man, and the business, how that shit work and shit. So that's why we got you on here.
Oh boy, how that shit works. Say it's probably like 90% luck, 10% being good at it, and actually maybe like 95% luck.
Really? You think so?
It's just all like being in the right place at the right time, who you know. I think right now the climate's interesting because, you know, the Me Too movement, the diversity pushes, and all these streaming giants. I think it's just, you know, how things worked in the past. I have no idea how things are going to work in the future. I think there's a lot that's really good for creatives. I think the in between creatives and when something actually, you know, comes to fruition, I think there's a smaller space in between, so creatives actually have a lot more control. But at the same time, Amazon, Disney, and Apple, and everyone, they're just these behemoths, these billion-dollar companies, and they can kind of, you know, decide what wins the day, and then we're all just kind of at the mercy of their whims.
But don't you think that they represent what the people want, or they think they do, or what? What did you think about that?
I mean, it's like that quote you said, like 9 out of every 10 things fails. In Hollywood, it's probably like 99 out of 100. So these companies will take their 10 things, and if one of them's a success, you know, like on Netflix, they're going to get 30 million people watching it. So if the other 9 are terrible,
it don't matter.
Don't matter.
All right. So then I would think, you know what I'm saying, that like if you want to do some shit, they would say yeah, because they know that they're all going to fail anyway. So what do they know?
You would think so, right?
But maybe out of every 100 things they say yes to, there was 2,000 that they ain't even want.
Yeah. I mean, well, they have the luxury of not needing to develop anything. Like Netflix will just give you your money and say, go do your thing and, you know, come back when you're ready. Or
you do it with your own money and then you bring it to them.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's sort of the way the tide's turning.
Which is crazy.
Is these, these equity funds and investors and people who were working, who were kind of, who are suits, who are executives, who are kind of moving into these small companies and just trying to have as much autonomy as possible while, you know, keeping those giants at bay. So it's hard. It's hard kind of walking that line.
All right, well, let's talk about luck then, because I know me, I can't write that good. So I wouldn't be writing, I know luck would save my ass. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean by that?
So like for me, I like got my big break when I applied to this workshop run by one of the studios, and it's like 2,500 people apply for like a handful of positions to get into these workshops where you get staffed on a show.
So you guarantee the job?
Basically. And, you know, 2,500 people, you might be the best writer in that whole group, or you might be the worst writer, but just have an awesome story. And then it's just all kind of like someone you don't know, you never met, they don't know you, is just sitting there reading. Maybe they're having a shitty day and they spill some coffee and then they blame your script and then you're never to be heard from again. So it's all just shit like that.
Right. But you were selected. How many people were selected?
I mean, it's like the final 20. And I think it ended up being 10 who were selected. But I made it to like the actual interview process. And I think what it came down to is, I don't know, they're all diversity workshops and I'm not diverse.
So you didn't get it?
So I didn't get into the final 10, but when the executives there sent my scripts to a manager who brought me over and hired me, and then he introduced me to an agent, and then it's just sort of like you just got to ride the wave and you know, hope the right people look at the right things.
You keep submitting stuff, and then hopefully they like you or whatever.
Yeah,
type of thing.
You know, they said your reps send you on meetings. They're called generals. And you meet with these execs at studios or production companies, and you sort of, you know, riff on ideas, on your respective backgrounds. You see if it's a good fit, and then, you know, if they like you and they're staffing something, they'll put you on, or if they have like an assignment, they'll shoot you an email and be like, hey, you know, what's your take on this? And then it's just sort of like this whole world is open to you. And the luck factor is like, I'm not a better writer. I wasn't a better writer like 5 days after, you know, they called me and were like, hey, you made it from this many people down to this many. It's just like, but there are those moments, and yeah, it kind of changed things.
It was your time. That's good. So sometimes I see some shit like written by, and one of the people is famous, and then the other person isn't. In my head, I'm like, the guy who isn't basically wrote this whole shit, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
the other guy come in, he has like, I got a fun idea, and then the other guy write the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like these studios are really everyone in Hollywood. I think people have this idea that Hollywood is somehow like insulated from you know, the way our economy is going, and it's not. If anything, they've become more risk averse. So these like quote unquote names, these people who've like done these big shows and had successes, it's all people who are looking over their shoulder, and they want to, you know, if shit hits the fan, they want to be able to say to their boss, well, you know, so and so was involved and he thought it was a good idea. So
right, therefore don't hate me now.
Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
So in these general meetings, right, you be meeting with people, they meet a bunch of different people. So maybe you had to like try to stand out somehow. And like, you don't talk about work right away. You be like, oh man, like I'm tired, man. I was having sex with my girlfriend. And then you be like, isn't it funny when people talk about banging their girlfriend? Like, that's funny to me. Because it is funny to me too. And then maybe y'all become friends.
That's some funny stuff.
Right? Who's the guy who's like, I was banging my girlfriend all night, man. Oof.
Oh man, that's the comedy writers. I'm not funny enough to be a comedy writer.
You a funny guy.
But I did go in one time having ridden one of those bird scooters the entire way.
Oh, really?
We had a Denver boot on our car. That's a lot of fucking parking tickets. And so,
what's a Denver boot?
You know when they
put the yellow thing on you?
Yeah.
Because of parking tickets?
You gotta pay like all your parking tickets. And we had like, I don't know, 16 of them.
Oh my, so that's like $1,500?
Yeah, it was crazy. So then I had this meeting, so I got on one of those bird scooters and rode all the way to Beverly Hills, and I come in and I'm just like sweating. I just got done like playing a 5-set match, and the guy's like, you know, like, are you okay? Like, do we need to call someone? And then, yeah, that was kind of like a nice little introduction, and then, you know, we're cool, and we're laughing.
And then you get that job?
No, nothing from them yet, but
never know. No. Yeah, it's the type of thing, man. Sound like you build over time. You know a lot of people, but the thing that seems tiring to me about this shit is like you got to maintain all these friendships. How the fuck you even do that? You meet 600 people and then you got to pretend you like all of them. Let's get coffee tomorrow, man. Where's the spot you like? Oh, I can't make it. Something came up. You know what I'm saying?
Let's push.
Yeah, let's push.
Yeah, man.
Push.
I'd say like your average industry person probably says they're gonna have coffee with another human being like between 300 and 400 times in your average week, and maybe they have coffee with like one of them. So as long as you're like, hey, like it's been a minute, like what's up? Like we got to catch up. Like let's have coffee. Like as long as you play that game, like you're good. Because that's like everyone knows they're not actually gonna, meet everyone for coffee, and they're not actually gonna, be talking to that person in like 6 months.
But you're visible. That's the point.
You're visible. You make yourself visible, and you just everyone kind of knows they're playing the same game.
Right. That should make me uncomfortable a little bit, because like I don't know this fucking guy. I met him one time, and now I'm like, yo, man, let's hang out. And then like he don't even remember you. I had to be like, I'm wearing a black jacket.
Yeah, it's humbling because you're like, this dude met like 10 people behind me, and it's gonna be 10 people after me, and yeah. I'm gonna send him an email later, like thanking him for his time, and he's gonna be like, wait, who the fuck was that dude? So.
Yeah, so one thing I've realized sometimes, man, about that too, like, it's one of those things, man, when you like creating shit or whatever, whether you writing or what actor or whatever the fuck you doing, there's like a whole system, man. It's like soccer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Messi he was on the fucking team when he was 13. He was in the junior program or whatever.
Wait, what's Messi?
Lionel Messi, the soccer player, which I know you say you don't want to talk about soccer, but whatever. That's one example.
Actually, do you know who that dude is?
What?
Actually, do you know who that guy is?
All right,
He's like the only soccer player I can name.
But you know what I mean? They have junior teams, and then they know who the guy is, and there's the next guy. I feel like it's the same shit with like being a person that's going to be in front of the camera. They know they want you already when you like 16, 17. They're like, this is going to be the guy. And then he come out of nowhere, but he ain't come out of nowhere. They knew. They was like, we want this guy. He was from Uzbekistan and rode a horse all the way to Germany, where he grew up with mixed race adopted parents, learned to play the cello, and then swam across the English Channel to England, where he, you know what I'm saying, like some shit like that. And then they're like, this is the new guy. And then he can write whatever the fuck he want. And people are like, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like coming out of those festivals. Like after Sundance, every movie that's playing at Sundance is the greatest movie ever made. Every actor who like is in a movie at Sundance is like
the greatest actor of all time.
Like for those few weeks after, it's just like, yeah. And I mean, there are people that you never hear from.
Right.
Ever. That's why they do all those Where Are They Now? And it's usually pretty depressing.
It could be depressing, but I think a lot of the reason why it's depressing is because those people, they ain't know how to do shit. They some young kid who got kind of famous, and then he was doing real well, and then that's his life now. But then you take that away, which inevitably gonna happen, and then what?
Yeah, man.
You got to go learn some shit, y'all.
It's like athletes. It's like your boy Antoine Walker.
But yeah, he made a lot of money, and then he lost all of it, right?
Made a lot of money, lost all of it.
He had a lot of kids. That'll do it.
He did a lot of kids.
You paying that child support, man. I was reading some breakdown of why all these guys go broke and shit. It makes sense to me. I was
It's easier than you think.
It's definitely easier than you think.
It's like these like A-listers, like manager, agent, business manager, lawyer, like so it like at the end of the day, like you read about these crazy paydays and they're taking home like, and
a quarter of it.
Yeah, maybe. And which is still a ton of money.
It's a ton of money, but
yeah.
You ain't gonna keep getting that payday. That's it. That payday. You know what I'm saying? So I think the moral of the story, man, is you make a little bit of money, man, you got to fucking do some shit, put that shit away and do something. And not even just put that shit in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't 1980 no more, man. You ain't getting 50% interest and shit.
Yeah, man.
You got to whatever. Or just
pokey shop.
Put your money in something. You know what I'm saying? You occasionally hear these stories about these rappers getting rich off of shit they invest in, like Juicy J. He made whatever millions of dollars off some water company or some shit. Nas too.
50.
Put your money somewhere. Don't go buy like a smaller house, man. You don't need a house that's that big. Who want a house with 20 bedrooms or whatever? Get a little house, man. You know what I'm saying? It's about sustaining this shit.
Sure. Take care of the fam. Take care of the pressing responsibilities, and then
be responsible.
Things go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't just spend like it don't matter. I mean, ever, unless you like reach a certain level. But even then, you got to be careful because everybody trying to steal all your money. Probably if you like Jeff Bezos or whatever the fuck his name is. Even then, you banging your best friend wife. You know what I'm saying? Take a certain type to get that like that.
It do.
It do.
Take a certain type.
I'm a fuck up your scripts because you're gonna be writing wrong now. I do. All right, so let's talk about the Oscars, man. I got to ask you a couple questions first. First of all, you think that this Rami Malek guy, he came out of nowhere or what? I feel like he's a little older to be getting famous like this.
Yeah, no, homeboy apparently didn't actually get like a decent role until he was I don't know, he said he'd been trying for like 10 years. And I think that's actually good for him. I think the later you become famous, the more likely you are to actually like you said, be responsible.
Have a decent life.
Like,
But I seen him in shit before. So then I'm wondering, like, all right, fine, you a big star now, but he was in Pacific.
Oh, he was in Pacific?
Yeah, that's a big
yeah.
Right. So none of this rags to riches bullshit. This dude that's the most expensive show ever made. Or whatever. A miniseries. Right?
Yeah, he's been around.
So whatever, right?
He waited a little while.
Right.
Paid his dues.
Right. And then he went from the like side guy to the main guy.
Side guy to the main guy.
And that's a feat. Because usually, you know what I'm saying, the people that come date a guy right away.
That's right. It's a feat. And these days you never know who the main guy or girl's gonna be. Could be anyone.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What do you mean? But what else? But think about the other people.
I don't think Melissa McCarthy's like an A-list movie star 20 years ago. I don't know if Kevin Hart's an A-list movie star 20 years ago.
Kevin Hart could have been. Yeah, there was other small, funny black guys.
Kevin Hart could have been could have been Eddie Murphy, but like,
right.
I feel like these days it can really just be anyone. I feel like which isn't to say that I find Melissa McCarthy or Rami Malek ugly. I just think that there isn't like looks aren't a precursor necessarily. I think it's really just if you're a good fit for that project and if that project blows up, like
right,
boom.
But Rami got something going on. He got a little weird. Like if you look weird, I feel like that's good.
Yeah.
He's like skinny, he got big eyes. I feel like girls like him. You know what I'm saying?
He has a big eye. He's kind of creepy looking.
He's a little, but that's in right now, right? Being creepy and shit. Yeah. But anybody can make it except a straight white dude.
Correct.
Unless you act like you're black, like me.
Right.
That's why I have made it because I am a disaffected adult. I be
it's like what, racially misidentified?
Exactly. I'm racially misidentified. There's room for people like me still. There just is not room for people like you. Yeah. I'm sorry. But fortunately you behind the camera. So that's better. So you can.
Yeah, to some extent. But there's still the whole like, is it your story to tell?
Who gives a shit? You give a shit?
I mean, the studios seem to give a shit.
Right.
I mean...
I see what you're saying. They're like, why would you hire this guy to work on the DMX life story written by DMX and Russell Greenblatt?
Yeah, exactly. I'll never get to write the DMX life story.
You might get to, though, if he fought for you.
One of the greatest regrets of my life.
He'll be like, because the Jews and the black people have a lot of similarities. I feel that rappers always talk about that.
Oh, the blacks and the Jews?
Yeah. They like each other. Y'all like each other.
Yeah, and the Italians.
And the Italians, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Italians and Jews are homies, right?
Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe, but maybe not. I feel like Italians are racist pieces of shit, man.
No, they used to always have like the token Jews in their crews, like the mobsters, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was always the one guy, I think. All right, well, what the fuck happened with the Green Book thing? Why is everybody mad about that?
I think that's another example of whether it was their story to tell or not, and that it there's some claims that more creative license was taken than necessary. And
what the fuck does that mean?
It means it's about this brilliant pianist, Don Shirley. Who's an African American going on tour in the South. They needed a New Yorker like you know, tough, street smart, kind of steer him around. And I think they both end up learning things from each other. But I think there's some critics who thought that it didn't accurately depict race relations, or that if you look at how I think a lot of us would like race relations to be right now, it's viewed as a sort of setback, which I think is ridiculous in the context of award shows. I think award shows should be about the best movies.
Well, was that shit based on a true story?
It was.
So they thought that these two guys didn't actually become friends?
No, they did become friends. They were friends. They ended up being friends their whole lives.
So then why did they wrongfully depict it?
The family of Dr. Shirley claims that there were inaccuracies. And if you watch the movie, there's some scenes where Viggo Mortensen, who plays the New Yorker, is like teaching Mahershala Ali, like how to eat fried chicken. I understand that there are scenes that might offend certain people, but I think the Oscars have always been politicized. I think right now they're politicized for the wrong reason. I think the movie industry is in trouble in a lot of ways. And I think a movie like Green Book that's just like an old-fashioned, just entertaining, fun story.
Nice story,
exactly. I mean, like, life's depressing, Like,
yeah,
people should be able to go to the movies and not have to be reminded of what's going on in our world. They should be able to go to movies on a Friday night and just kind of like escape. And Green Book glossed over a lot of the horrors of that time and of like Jim Crow South, but I think those horrors that's in a different movie.
Yeah, you make your own movie about how fucked up that was, and there's plenty of those. Spike Lee tried to walk out of the theater. We gotta stop that guy, man. He's so damn annoying.
Tripping.
He really has been for a long time too. It's like, come on, man, you won a fucking Oscar today. You know what I'm saying?
Although way ahead of his time with He Got Game.
It's a good movie. But even more, I thought Do the Right Thing is a good movie too.
Great movie.
I like a lot of the guy's movies.
Yeah, so he got screwed at the Oscars with Do the Right Thing. I don't know if he got screwed last night. I don't know if that's what he was mad about.
They said he tried to leave or something.
But was he mad that his movie didn't win, or was he mad that Green Book won?
I think he was mad that Green Book won in general. So, I don't think people aren't usually noticeably sore losers by their own shit. Even him. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Remember when Samuel Jackson lost for Pulp Fiction, they had him on cameras going, "Oh fuck!"
Really?
After he lost, yeah.
Who won?
Martin Landau for Bullets Over Broadway.
Wow, that's a good.
Why the fuck I know that?
R.I.P. Martin Landau. He lived to be like 100 years old.
He's dead?
I thought he was. Is he alive?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna check that right now, real quick. See, is Martin Landau alive? I hope that this work out in a good way for us because
I hope so too.
No, he died in 2017. But good for you, man. Bullets Over whatever that shit was called. He won an Oscar, man. And clearly, I mean, whatever. All right, so that's interesting, man. Fucking, what did you watch the performance of Lady Gaga and fucking Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, and that was hot.
Do you think that was all fake, or do you think that like just to stir up controversy?
I think they were banging multiple times a day.
Really?
Yeah.
He almost leaned in to kiss her on the lips in the middle of that.
It certainly seems that way.
It seemed that way, right? He married this famous model. Has she said anything about it?
Not that I know of. She seemed to be very gracious on camera last night.
Was she up there?
No. I mean, when Brad and Lady Gaga went back to their seats, she was, hugging Lady Gaga and, all's good. But who knows? They might have gone home and she slapped the shit out of him. Yeah,
I mean, because I was thinking, man, if my fucking, because she was engaged.
She was engaged.
And now she is no longer. So the rumor's been flying.
But yeah, I think they're true. But what do I know?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's part of what we're saying, everybody, is that you can't know everything.
Nobody knows nothing.
So just go keep trying, whatever you're doing. If you're writing in Hollywood, writing all the movies and TV shows. So what are you working on right now? Movies, TV shows, both?
Both.
And you writing your own shit?
Yeah, I'm just always writing something. That's the first thing they tell you is just to keep a stack deck. Because, like, you know, I'll get a text like, hey, do you have a heist pilot? And so I didn't, but, like, I'll get texts like that. Like, someone will be looking for something specific. And so if I have that written, then, you know, it gives me a leg up.
Right. So they're like, we don't like that. What else you got? You're like, well, I got this.
Yeah.
And they go, we looking for that.
Yeah.
So you write a bunch of different shit. So what's your work process like? What, like, you stay up late at night writing?
You know, I would always stay up really late because, like, dog's asleep, wife's asleep. It's quiet. It was nice. But ever since I got here, I've taken those edibles. Do you know weed's legal here?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
You like weed edibles?
Yeah, I'd never smoked, but those edibles just, like, knock me right out. So now it's more traditional. I'll, like, start at, I don't know, 10, 10:30, 11, and then write for a few hours and go, I don't know, eat, work out, just lay on my bed and then write for another few hours. And I don't know. The great ones say you have to treat it like a job. I don't know how if I quite have that self-discipline, but close enough.
They say you got to say, I remember I heard about Stephen King talking about he always sit in front of a wall with no windows.
It doesn't surprise me.
Do you agree with that?
I feel like that might get a little, I don't know. I guess it depends what he's seeing when he looks at those walls. He's probably seeing some shit that I just can't see. He hears Jimmy. I just listen to Jimmy. He hears Jimmy.
That's funny. So you don't think so? I thought he just did because he didn't want to be distracted by the pretty trees and shit.
Maybe he's got a really rigid schedule. My neighbor actually has worked with him and said he wakes up every day at 6 o'clock, writes from 6 to noon, has lunch, then does all his business stuff, and then, you know, goes and has dinner with his fam. But, like,
that's smart to me.
For a dude who's written, like, I don't know, 200 books, I just don't know how he still has the energy, how he still has that determination. But
I feel like that's the point, though. It's like that's just like what he like. Yeah. And it happened to help him be successful, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That schedule, man. Like. That's a good thing. Like, do you think he drink alcohol?
Oh, man.
Y'all are known for that.
for drinking alcohol?
Yeah, writers is known for drinking alcohol.
I don't know. I don't think he needs any sort of, like, psychotropic influence. I think his mind can go to, like, pretty crazy places all on its own.
Right. And I feel like, man, a lot of these successful people, they got, like, a strong partner, like a romantic partner. And not only
like a muse?
I mean, not necessarily. In his writing book, he be talking about how she be the one who's a good critic. So if he writes some shit and she don't like it, he change it. And that's been a good thing for him.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have someone who'll give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Like, my wife pretends to like everything I write. And it's
that's nice.
Yeah, it's sweet. It doesn't do me any good, but it's sweet.
Well, you need to have that, though.
Yeah.
The positive.
You gotta, you should have someone who's unrelentingly positive and someone who will just, like, be like, nah, this isn't working.
Yeah, this ain't it, G. This ain't it.
This ain't it.
That's interesting. So, yeah, and then also athletes, too, man. You notice, like, a lot of these great athletes, they have, like, a wife, and they've always there, and they happy, and I'm like, all right, like, I guess, and they always with them, too. Like, you know, the tennis players, man. They be traveling with their wives and shit. They go all over, you know.
Federer?
Yeah, he got 2 pairs of twins, man.
Nice.
2 pairs of identical twins, which means they ain't do no in vitro, whatever. That means he was just pumping that fucking good. 2 pairs of identical twins. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And they all travel with him all year. And they got a private jet.
Yeah, he's a robot, though.
Yeah, but do you have to be a robot to be great in anything or not?
At sports, I think you have to be a robot to be great.
I think you're right.
I mean, I think you have to be able to detach yourself to a pretty insane degree. especially like individual, like tennis players and golfers and like boxers. I think you can't blame anyone else.
Right. That's true.
It's all on you. It's just you and the other dudes.
What about a guy like LeBron? I feel like he has a lot of willpower and a lot of focus. I feel like he do a lot of shit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, he has a production company. He had 19 charities.
Yeah,
He be playing.
He's got a full plate. It's crazy that he's never gotten in trouble. I just don't understand.
He's just too good of a dude, man.
Anything. I don't know.
What about Obama? He never got in trouble.
No?
Nah, bro. You seen him rocking the custom Ragabone 44 bomber jacket? Like a fucking boss. That shit was fly, man. My girl was like, damn. I was like, yo, now I'll be all jealous about Obama. They're like, you don't like Obama? I'm like, nah, my girl wants to fuck him. It ain't even about his politics and shit. Nah, I don't fuck with Obama no more, man. He pissed me off when he looked all hot and my girl got all fucking hot and bothered. Shit.
He's a good looking dude.
People be hating. He the man, Obama. Right?
Yeah.
You like him? I like Obama.
I do.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
I don't know him, but I mean, my girl want him, which I ain't happy about. But I would be devastated if some dirt came out about Obama, about how he was like drugging children or some shit, like with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me give you 3 people and tell me who you'd be the most surprised about if like a big scandal leaks.
Okay, I like this.
All right. Obama, LeBron, Federer.
Wow. The most surprise, Obama. I'll tell you why. Federer, man, he had this thing to me that's like a little tiny bit disingenuous. Like he a bit of a sore loser, I noticed. I've been watching tennis now for a little bit. When he lose, he ain't happy about it. And that to me is like which it seems like a natural reaction, but then he immediately can turn it on and like be the most gracious ever in the interview. And I don't know if that's just a product of being a great champion that you get upset and then you move on and put it behind you.
But you think he can like turn on the charm like a light switch?
I think
like flip it on.
Yeah, I think so. And that you know, so even though I think he probably untouchable still, it still and also like his wife, and she look good now, but you know, as far as professional athletes stand to go, I would say that she typically would be somebody that like, that's his wife?
Are you just trying to say that she's unattractive?
No, I ain't personally saying that. But when you're the richest guy in the world, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. I mean, granted, there's something to be said about sticking with the person who knew you before and shit and all that. So I don't know. It wouldn't super duper surprise me, man. LeBron.
They do weird shit over in Europe.
They do weird shit over there. LeBron's a basketball player, man. You know what I'm saying? Basketball players got a history of fucking up. You know what I'm saying? LeBron seemed like a guy who has all his shit together. And, you know what I'm saying? He's a great champion. But sometimes being a great champion leads one to have some terrible flaw.
Think they're invincible, you mean?
Whatever that might be. Maybe there's some weird thing that make them tick. The same thing that made them great got it's a double-edged sword kind of thing.
The gift and the curse.
Could be, man. And Obama, he seemed like he normal and like he got his little, you know, he be smoking cigarettes. You know, you heard shit about him in high school, being like a normal-ass teen and whatever. And I feel like it's one of those things, like you said, the stars kind of aligned for him, the climate and whatever. And granted, this fucking guy was the editor of the Harvard Law Review, right? He clearly a smart guy.
He's a smart dude.
Fucking smart dude. Charming as fuck. And he like relatable, you know what I'm saying? Like he's the type of dude you want at your party, be like, yo, Barry was good. And he'd have a drink with you, maybe. Maybe not. But and look at him and his wife, man. They look like they in love as fuck and they're hanging out.
That's true. That's true. That looks real.
Right?
It feels real, yeah.
And we just couldn't handle it as a country. We're like, this is so great that we got to do the complete opposite thing now. Because that's just what we do as people, man.
Yep. That's true.
It always obsessed me, man. Actually, but it also made me feel better sometimes when you hear about these like rich, powerful people doing all fucked up shit. Because that just means everybody do fucked up shit. Like poor people do fucked up shit. And everybody expects them to. And then rich people do fucked up shit and no one expected them to, but then they're like, whatever. I guess they did that fucked up shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, did you watch that Clinton documentary, Clinton Affair?
Nah.
They were into some shady shit.
What did you mean?
Like Whitewater, they were in some like shady land deal in Arkansas, and then there have been some convenient disappearances of people who had information against them.
Really?
I don't know. If like gun to my head and someone was like, do you think Hillary Clinton has fed another human being to like a shark? I'd probably go yes. But I don't know.
But that's what we said, man. Everybody got dirt on them. So you got to clean up your tracks.
Dude, when our generation gets into the White House, it's like, what's even going to count as dirt anymore, though?
What was that?
I mean, when like the generation where their whole lives around, have been documented on Instagram, like what's going to even count as dirt,
That's true.
That everyone's going to have offended someone at some
Everybody
point
have
in their
dirt.
life.
The whole Kevin Hart thing with the Oscars was a good example. He already apologized for that. And again, they like, come on, man. Who ended up hosting?
No one.
They had no host.
They had no host.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Never ever has that happened?
Never has that happened.
Why don't we bring back Billy Crystal, man?
I know, right?
He was a nice little host, Billy Crystal. Everybody loved Billy Crystal.
Oh, Billy Crystal's a great. Remember that movie when he was the basketball ref?
Which one?
I forget what
City
it's called.
Slickers?
City Slickers.
That's not the basketball
Classic.
ref movie.
Not a basketball ref movie, but yeah, Billy Crystal was classic.
What about this Michael Jackson documentary? I can't believe they're going to take down Mike, man. But we all knew about that.
It's sad, man.
I know.
It's sad.
R. Kelly, it's like, all right, we know R. Kelly, man, is R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. So that documentary, all I do is watch documentaries. Homeboy was just like running a sex cult. Like, that's
bad.
a bad dude.
Yeah,
That's a bad,
no doubt.
bad guy.
No doubt. But then, all right, so it's like, all right, man, whatever. We liked a couple R. Kelly songs, and I get that like certain communities or whatever were like, oh, not R. Kelly, man, not R. Kelly. I get it. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever. I don't give a fuck about R. Kelly, man. Like, you was doing bad shit, and you deserve to pay for your fucking sins. But I almost feel like Michael Jackson might actually be above judgment for fucked up shit. Even as fucked up as all that shit he be doing. I cannot wait to see what happened in public with that.
Michael was powerful, man.
He was powerful. And that shit, like, this is straight up people being like, he was like fondling us and shit. Right? That's what this new doc's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't out yet.
No.
Like next week.
I don't know. There's such like I think outrage culture loves documentaries so much that, I mean, we're in the midst of like a documentary boom, quote unquote. And I feel like people get outraged by a documentary for a week and then get outraged by a new documentary.
Next week.
Yeah.
That's true. It's like doing everything.
Which is like, I don't know. It doesn't really hold, like these documentaries that are about these just bad people, it doesn't really hold them accountable in people's mind. They just like become a talking point for, a week or two. And then they're just, back in the annals of history.
But like, are people going to pull Thriller off of Spotify?
I hope not. I don't know. I'm kind of a judge the art, not the artist guy for the most part. I mean, I think Roman Polanski's a piece of shit, but the dude's an awesome filmmaker.
So you still watch the movies he be making?
Yeah, I think the idea of boycotting.
What did he even do?
He did a movie called Rosemary's Baby.
No, I seen that shit. I mean, like, what did he do that make him not come back to the country?
He stuck his penis in the vagina of a 10-year-old girl.
A 10-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
That's kind of like, if it was 15, that could be like, oh, whatever, he's from Europe or some shit. But 10 is like too young for every culture.
Right? So no, I was talking, my wife who you met is a sex therapist, and she was saying that it's normal for men to be attracted to post-pubescent girls, like 16, whatever. And I was like, I'm sorry, so if I told you I was leaving you for a 16-year-old, like that would be okay? And she was like, no, but it's totally normal.
All right, that's
so.
But what about 10-year-olds? No,
Yeah,
that's not normal.
I think that's prepubescent, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And so that's like, is the person who's into that, like, have they had some kind of traumatic experience in their lives Did she elaborate?
Someone who's into like a pedophile, yeah, has usually had some trauma. Usually had some shit go down earlier in their life.
Some kind of bad trauma.
Bad trauma, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, speaking of documentary, man, the movie that won yesterday about the guy climbing the tree or whatever. you see that one?
Free Solo? No, I haven't watched it yet, but I hear it's awesome.
Yeah, all right. So the guy climbed it's not a tree, it's like a cliff or something.
It's a mountain.
He climbed a mountain.
Close enough.
But like
trees are hard.
Okay, so it's a high thing. And so I don't know if y'all saw it. I saw this shit. It's not like a mountain like you climbing up a fucking runyon or whatever y'all do out here. It's like the wall. It's like this. It's like flat. And this guy climbed up to the top. And he ain't had no ropes or whatever and a carabiner and shit. He climbs all the way up. That's the whole movie. So that's just cool. But I don't know about climbing. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that shit, I didn't realize how tall that shit was. And I think that was a big issue I had with that movie. I don't know how it won. Because then I was like, oh, whatever. Like, this is obviously dope. But then I was walking around the big city and somebody was like, yo, you know how tall that shit was? And he goes, look up at that big building. It's like two of that building on top of each other. And then I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I got a really bad fear of heights. I don't even think I could like climb up to the top of Yao Ming and look down.
You scared of heights?
Yeah, really scared.
You don't like roller coasters?
Nah.
I don't like roller coasters either.
Nah, roller coasters fuck me up. Yeah.
They suck. And like people are like, well, you can't die on them. I'm like, I know, but they make you feel like you're going to die. That's not fun.
Not fun. Nah. Roller coasters are like strip clubs. Like roller coasters are like, I feel like I'm going to die, but I know I'm not going to die. And strip clubs are like, I feel like I'm going to get laid, but I know I'm not going to get laid. I'm just like paying money for the thrill.
That's funny as fuck, man. That's funny. I be going to strip clubs and you always see that guy who like, he's trying to like get her to hang out with him outside of the strip club for real. And that don't ever work. Or the guy who's like, thinks she really likes him.
Oh man. Yeah. Like those poor guys.
Those poor guys, man. I think we're going to name this episode, man, Russell Greenbrook.
Oh, like Westbrook?
Well, but it's you, RJ Greenblatt.
Oh, like Green Book. Oh, like the movie and Westbrook and all the...
What happened with him?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he just good at basketball?
He's just good at basketball.
That's nice, man. Yeah. Well, good, man. What you got coming up?
You know what? Follow me on Instagram, and when it comes out, I'll tell you.
All right. What's your Instagram so we know that?
Jamal Ginsburg 23.
So do you worry that is a cultural appropriation?
No. But I'm sure there are people who would tell me that it was. No, because he's
it's a person?
Part African American, part Jewish, and I'm Jewish, so I feel like
that's okay.
Maybe like 50% appropriation, 50% like my people. So.
You would have to slightly appropriate. Just kind of how like if you ain't white, you could say the N-word. As long as you're not white. If you like Asian, you can say it. And like people still kind of don't like it, but you allowed to.
Is that true?
Yeah. I be seeing all these Asians saying that shit to each other.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I can't keep up with the rules anymore, man.
Yeah, the rules. So listen, man, if you ain't sure, do that shit anyway, man. Because whatever, you're going to get fucked over at the end no matter what, unless you try to be president. In which case, you ain't going to be better than Barry, man, rocking the fucking signature ragged bone 44 bomber and shit. Looking fly, trying to bang my girlfriend.
Fucking Barry.
Fucking Barry, man. All right, y'all. I'm Lil Young Baby, man. Y'all know me, man. I be working, man. I be making a couple new songs that's coming out soon. I think what I'm going to do now is start rolling out singles instead of doing big projects. So this way y'all can really digest each of my shit. So I'm going to drop a new song, y'all, in the next few weeks, man. And we're going to do the video, that shit you already know, man. So that's it, man. You know, follow me, Lil Young Big. Follow Jamal Ginsburg, 23.
23. MJ.
And see what he be up to. And, that's it for y'all, man. We're going to be back with Audemars in New York starting next week. And we love y'all, man.